What is up, guys? Say I come to you with a review of Young Black Jack. And it's been quite a while since I last did a review for this series, and I'm so sorry for putting this on hold for such a long time. I've been incredibly busy, and I was taking other things as higher priority over this. But here I am. So I'm at chapter 7, and I'm going to catch up to the latest chapter very soon. So in this chapter 7 concluded where Hazama, if you remember back in not episode 6, chapter 6, where Hazama was practically guilt tripped to help escape soldier from the war, Smith. He's an American soldier, and he was along with his comrades, Ayama, that woman who was guilt tripping Hazama to start the operation to help Smith with his brain, because he has either the brain was growing big or he was growing some type of tumor, and it was causing him massive migraines, and if they was not able to operate on it quick enough, he would have died. And remember, he, along with Marlon, the young African American man that was also with him, they were both from the war. And the fact that they escaped the war, that's a big no-no, because if they were to be, say they admit Smith to the hospital and they were to admit him in, and they had to, you know, bring in his documents and write down documents saying that he's been admitted to the hospital, that's one way for, you know, the people that's in the war to find his whereabouts and drag him back to war, or possibly send him to jail. So that's why they did not want to go to the hospital or call for any type of help, and they asked Hazama, who is an unlicensed doctor, still a medical student, to do the operation. Of course, Hazama was greatly against it, but he, like I said, he was guilt tripped. So he does the operation on Smith. Might I add, it's compared to the anime, the manga is way more graphic. I kind of cringed when they, like, you know, Hazama was opening up the skull and you saw the whole brain and blood and everything. This is way more graphic than the anime. The anime toned it down a lot. If you guys are curious, the anime came out last year during this season, the fall season. So it's basically following what's happening in from the manga, and this is the prequel to Black Jack. So this tells of his days before he became what we know as Black Jack. So the operation is a success, but the one I can remember specifically in the anime, they left out that Smith was the one that called the police. When he woke up and then he found a huge scar and he realized it was an unlicensed doctor that operated on him, he called the police, and Marlon got arrested. Ayama, the woman, she managed to escape, and one of Hazama's classmates that he doesn't really remember all that well, by the name of Tamura, he kind of escaped too. He was just, you know, he just stayed at home and everything. But we found out that actually, another thing that they left out in the anime was that actually the man that appeared in this chapter, he has thick rim glasses, and he appeared in the anime. But what we know is that he's part of the CIA, and the fact that he says that Smith is actually a professor at Johns Hopkins University in the States, and he's also part of the CIA, and they knew everything that Hazama was doing. They knew everything. They knew about the operation that he did on Smith, and they know how great of a student that he is, and that he has amazing skills in the medical field. And Hazama found this to be like great irony, because it's like, you knew everything that was going on. Smith, that's not even his real name, Smith, who is a colleague of yours, you were willing allowing him to die. Basically, they set up everything just so they can see what Hazama is capable of doing, which was pretty messed up. They were willing to allow one of their colleagues to die just to see what Hazama was basically capable of doing. Of course, they were the ones who released Hazama from jail, and they cleaned his record, so he doesn't have that on his record, so he won't he's still able to get his license once he finishes with school and everything. So that's good for the time being. But that also gives you the suspicion that if Hazama was to operate on someone again, you know, to help someone and not have the license, is it possible that C.I.A. will, you know, pop up again and to save him, or will this really be the end of his entire career? So from what we know, Smith has went back to the war. Marlon went back to the war, but they cannot find his whereabouts. Ayama, she went back to that radical group Save that's against the war. And like I said, Tamura, he's like at home studying and everything. So that's basically what happened. And Hazama, he learned 2 lessons in this after everything that has happened and it came boiling down. The 2 lessons he learned was that, one, before he helps anybody or anything of that, is to collect the treatment fee up front first. And the second is that he shouldn't go out of his way to go help someone. Just don't jump at the chance. As soon as they say, I need help, you just automatically jump at the chance to go help them, because there is a very thin line and he's on that thin line. So he has to, at this point, start thinking very rationally and say, does this person truly and wholeheartedly need help, or do they not? So he learned those 2 lessons after everything boiled down to this point. So it was a very good chapter. We saw differences from in this chapter versus what happened in the anime. I can't tell for sure what episode this chapter is based on, but if you do know, do tell in the comment section below if you are currently watching the anime yourself, if you're interested in it, or if you remember from what happened around last year this time for what happened in that episode. So if you guys read this chapter, please do drop a comment down below on how you felt about this chapter of Young Black Jack, chapter 7. The links are in the description box as always, so you guys go check that out. And I'm Kimmy Chun of Anime Legends Podcast, and I will see you guys later. Bye!